Hello, 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 and welcome to your reading. Thank you for the patience. I always say that it's never happened yet that I've taken over a month, and I think I just beat the month for you. So happy that I was able to get a lot done in the last few days. So, anyways, let's hope we have none of these Mercury retrograde problems I had yesterday, and let's get right into it. So let's share the screen. Let me just make sure I hide your last name. Okay. Okay, very good. Delete this one so it doesn't show it. Okay, so let's just take a look here. So we got Cancer rising. We got that Sun in Sag conjunct Pluto, and then the Moon in Capricorn conjunct Chiron. And you've got that Mars Venus. This is really good water, bubbly water. I don't know, I told you. But yeah, you got the Mars and Venus in Scorpio. Interesting. So right off the bat, we have water, we have fire, we have more water, we have earth, and do we have air in the personal planets? Where's Mercury and Sag? So I don't believe we have any air. Okay, and you have the Leo, Jupiter. So let's actually show. Okay, so when you lack air in a chart, and yeah, you do have let's see, if you have like really, yeah, not even really air. I guess yeah, your moon's in the 7th house, so that's like kind of air house. But when you lack air, it can be difficult to see things from different perspectives. I'm gonna show my face now. It's enough of the chart. Actually, no. Let's show the chart like without all the asteroids and random things. Yeah, you can lack objectivity. And kind of be difficult like for like open-mindedness. Also, like one thing that people who lack air say and like really helps them a lot is when they do like things like breath work or go running or do things that actually like pump oxygen into them. So it's very, very important when you lack that element in your chart to seek it out. And there's other ways you can search articles about like lack of air in a birth chart or lack of an element, but you're good on all the other ones. So here is when we take out all of the other little some of the asteroids and the fixed stars I had showing the main things going on. So wow, okay, this isn't that difficult of a chart in terms of aspects. Basically only Venus and Mars square Neptune in terms of that, but that doesn't mean it's an easy chart. So let's jump right in. Show my face. So yeah, basically, okay, where did it just go? So okay, so first question, what does Sag, Sun, the 6th house, conjunct Pluto, and the South Node, what does that have to do with, how does that relate to Moon and Capricorn? Well, conjunct Chiron in the 7th house. Well, first of all, the fact that your Sun's conjunct the South Node, that I typically look at it, it can be sometimes like like past life, like ego issues is one way I might look at it. It could take a lot of different ways or like potentials. Let me see what other aspects. I don't say anything like that difficult, but the ruler is Jupiter, which is in the second house in Leo. So so the ruler of the South Node is in Leo, so which is retrograde in Jupiter. So Jupiter in retrograde. So it's trine Neptune. So you may have been someone who's very, very philosophical, maybe like a spiritual leader, some type of person like that. But also, so definitely someone that was someone of service, someone but like more in the material world, success, like very, very successful, probably rich, and basically, like a lot of people that have this can come into this lifetime with like entitlement, kind of, where they almost feel like I deserve this, like because they may have been like a king in their past life or a queen, so it's like they feel, and with the fact that you have Pluto also conjunct the sun, that's just like this mega power, right? Pluto conjunct sun in Sagg, Pluto conjunct the sun in general, definitely puts us in touch with our shadow, but it makes an energy so that there's like it kind of creates like a scorpionic vibe to you also. It's very powerful. It makes you very intense. It makes your life a big part of your purpose of who you are being about the fact that the South Node and Pluto are so close, about overcoming. And where's Black Lilith? Where is it? It's hiding. Oh, it's in Taurus. So yeah, kind of overcoming some of the lower energy of Sag and really like trying to live up to the highest energy of Sag. So like, low Sag is like dogmatism, like my way or the highway, like, like really like pushing hard for people to kind of believe what you believe in. If they don't, kind of like not being happy with it and trying to force your opinion on other people. But I'm not saying that's what you do. I'm just saying there's potential for that with Sag. It's also very, very expansive. So sometimes there can be like, you have to watch out to look before you leap, right? It can be very, very risk taking. So just like in this present day, like how does the Sag play in? And also with the Pluto, also there's gonna be an energy of how do I say this, like you're gonna really want to probe deep into the mysteries of life, because Sagittarius is very all about finding truth, finding wisdom. It's linked to foreign cultures, traveling, all that stuff. And Pluto is very scorpionic. There's going to be a mix of definitely someone who's really trying to find meaning within and without. Really trying to broaden their worldview. So, the sixth house is about health. It's about service. It's about kind of making sure that all the little steps it takes, right? It's like Virgo energy. So it's like all of the little steps that it takes to get to a certain outcome, that you're following them, that you're not skipping steps, right? Like the opposite is like Pisces energy, where it's like too dreamy. So it makes one like have like a daily routine that plays a huge part in a huge like part of their life. But also you have to watch out for like the relationship between your mind and body, because the sixth house rules health and Pluto is a dark planet. So health issues could, I'm not saying that like like you're gonna have like a very bad health issue. I'm just saying that like it's very, very important for you to take care of your physical health. Like there's like a spiritual, like doing things like hiking and like I have a cat hair enough. Oh, damn it. Okay, got it. So it's like the good the example I like to give with this kind of thing in one quick second, is like one sec. Okay, so the example I like to give is if you are someone who is consistently I totally just lost my train of thought. I totally lost my train of thought. Pluto 6th house conjunct. So the service. Yeah, it'll come back, whatever. That happens once in a while. But basically, like the whole point is that you know, you oh yeah, okay. If you're like a workaholic, if you're someone who's unhealthy, who you know, who kind of like isn't like good with your diet and this and that and not caring physically, then there can be some issues with health. And that's Pluto there. It's like literally saying like, you know, in this lifetime, from like a service perspective, you're trying to go away from like, you're trying to go towards like this very collectivist energy, right? Which your North Node in the 12th house is saying the same thing. Even though they're opposite houses, the fact that North Node is 6 or 12 in Pluto, which in the way I look at astrology, these are the two most important points in the chart in terms of like growth, like karmic growth, I guess you could say. So it's really like pointing you to be of service, right? To take risks, to step out of yourself. But the fact that the South Node's in the 6th house, and the North Node's in the 12th house, and I'll get to all the moon and all that, but I, you know, just kind of going off what I'm seeing here, it's makes me think that there has been lots of like physical success in past lives, but in this life you're really trying to like get, and you have Saturn in the 12th house too, which relates to like unconscious fears of anything hidden. So you're really trying to like overcome, like you're really trying to like deepen yourself spiritually, and really feel as a like a part of the greater whole, you know, that oneness. And yeah, so that's very, very important, spiritual unity, right? And when you have Saturn in the 12th house, my cat's like making me play fetch with him. But I don't know where to put the ball. Oh my god, Felix, why now? Always when I have clients. Yeah, so with the Saturn there, which probably, okay, so you're very young, so it's like, you know, when you get to your Saturn return, it will, you know, probably be a lot easier. But Saturn in the 12th house can make someone like who really has to face, like they really need to face these like unseen energies. Like they can feel like they're having like they have like hidden enemies is a common thing with that, right? That maybe are like older, and there can be like nightmares, like fears related to, yeah, like the unseen, like ghosts, stuff like that, right? So, and then the fact that North Node, 1 second. So the fact that the North Node's there, it's doubling down, saying that you're really meant to get through this. And also like the fact that your North Node is in an air sign and you lack air, it's saying that it goes back to what I said before. There's a ball. That you're really trying to learn to see things from other people's point of view, and get like really getting better at communication. There can kind of be this like potential to be a little bit in past lives scattered. So it's about like developing like focus and making your dreams reality at the same, like finding that balance between like imagination and implementation of the imagination of the idea, right? And yeah, North Node in 12th house is a very very spiritual placement. 12th house, you know, it's also connected to kind of like the collective unconscious. It's Pisces energy, so sacrifices. You know, so when you have Saturn there, a malefic on the 12th house, you really can, especially in a night, you know, in a night chart, Saturn 12th house is going to be difficult. It could speak about like a difficult relationship with a father, but the best way is through service. Like when you're like really being of selfless service, it can make some of that energy kind of like a lot easier. And yeah, like what else can I say about this? Yeah, so there's also this aspect with about boundaries, where you feel like they're constantly being threatened. And that's kind of what makes you that can there can be like lots of like random phobias where you're like, where the hell does this come from? So it's like overcoming that, and the best way through that is through an investigation of the unseen, which is like literally what this reading is, what astrology is. And you're so young, so it kind of makes sense if you're interested in it just from that already. But that then just like going back to your sun and moon, your sun sign, which I'll talk about, the fact that, you know, it is Sagittarius, which makes you like, you're here to learn, you're here to like really like it's like the metaphor of the gypsy that turns into the teacher who turns into the philosopher. That's like the kind of metaphor, right? And you know, you really want to try on lots of different philosophies and see which one sticks. I need to turn my AC on, it's hot. So with Pluto there, it's going to make you like a researcher type, like someone who, when you like get into something, you get really into it. You want to just go super, super, super deep. And which is, you know, a beautiful placement. And your Mercury is also connected to that as well. So it's going to have that same effect on your mind and the way you communicate. It can make you a quite intense communicator, but someone who has, yeah, like a probing mind and who's able to see the big picture and who's able to communicate advanced concepts in an understandable, digestible way, but also someone who, you know, has to watch out for being like overly, like I was saying before, kind of dogmatic and just like obsessed, I guess, with the beliefs, with your own. No, it's not bad to be obsessed with your own belief systems. It's just like not putting them on other people. But you're always seeking to like really like, there's this extreme intensity to expand your worldview. And it's like, you know, being like someone who's like a born philosopher, you know. Because for Sagittarius, it's all about seeing the big picture, right? So, but then when you have like the Saturn there, it can hold you back from that because there can be these random fears. So that's like, you know, studying like the esoteric and these different energies and being able to see life differently. You start to see Saturn as a karmic, like is something karmically that pushed you into this, right? Also like Mercury and Sag, there's lots of like freedom of speech, like there's you know, they really like are believing in this. Yeah, they like to talk about their ideas, and they can be sometimes very, you know, debate them a lot. But and you do have a square with or opposite with Saturn. We'll talk about that after. So okay, sun. So we kind of have an idea about like the sun, the seeker, right? Then the moon's in Capricorn. So this is a very different energy. So on one hand, it's very extroverted. It's very like adventurous and Sagittarian. You know, I don't have to tell you so much about your sun sign. Everyone knows their sun sign. Well, the moon in Capricorn conjunct Chiron. That is like very like lots of karmic spirit emotional pain, right? And a lot of this will be felt in the realm of relationships and partnerships because it's in the 7th house. But Capricorn Moon is a very tough moon placement. Not to say that there can't be good results. You don't have any difficult aspects with it besides the conjunction of Chiron. And you do have a nice sextile with Venus. So that's going to add some spice to it, to a moon that's usually quite cold, right? So Sagittarius is like the bright, like them and Leo are like the brightest signs of the zodiac, right? And then your Cancer rising kind of balances it out because it's kind of like the warm and nurturing, and that's like your external personality. But the moon represents what we need to be happy, right? It represents what we need to feel secure. So when it's in Capricorn, we really need to feel like we're useful, like in terms of society, right? We need to feel like what we're doing matters. And also on there's like a big need to because it's ruled by Saturn and there's Chiron there can be it's a very karmic placement for the emotions, and there can be these stuck. Think of like emotions as like water. They're meant to just flow, like being able to be like, I love you and this and that. Well, Capricorn moons have a lot of issues with vulnerability typically. Even though Sagittarius and with all the Sag energy, like it wouldn't make you a shy person, although Cancer rising can be a bit shy, and then you have Mercury opposite Saturn, so you may be shy actually, but we'll see more about that. But basically, like Capricorn moon, I always say this, there's a need to liquefy crystallized emotional patterns. So there's a need to, like, that's why lots of I think Capricorn moons, it's way harder for men, honestly. I've seen like lots of women who have like success with, who don't have problems, but it's because women in our society they're able to speak about emotions. There's not all that stigma attached to them, right? So it's really important for you to, because like Capricorn moon people, they can come off as the strong one. Like everyone looks at them like, oh, they don't have any problems. Like they don't even if they did, like they can handle it, because it makes one innately responsible. Like there's an emotional need for success, for honor. But yeah, it can also create lots of like repression, emotional repression, and not wanting to feel like what's really there, and push things away, push things down into the unconscious. And what happens when you repress things and push them down in the unconscious? No good. So yeah, really, really important to express your emotions, to get in touch with them. And that's exactly what that liquefying process is, right? And because it's in the 7th house, it's likely that, with Chiron 7th house, that there's going to be painful situations that happen in like romantic relationships, or there has been. But ultimately, like the whole point of Chiron 7th house is, and I'm not doing like a self-fulfilling prophecy yet. It doesn't have to be that, but basically what it is that you'll learn, you'll have a lot of healing. Like your relationships will be very, very healing, like very, very healing of your emotions, of your cat moon. So because it's not a square or opposition, it's a conjunction of Chiron and Moon and Capricorn. It makes me think that there actually is a potential that it's through these relationships. It could be a bit of both, but less that you're just like getting hurt so bad, but that that relationships are the impetus for you to do the work that you really need to do, right? Also, Cap Moon, like to feel secure, life needs to kind of have some level of structure, or they literally like to work hard. Like my friend, she's a Cap Moon, and she just loves her job and working, and just kind of feels I'm still here. I'm just making some matcha. She just kind of feels off if she's not working. And, it's not like she only works and she's hiding, repressing some other energy, but she likes to work. What can you say? Some people just like it. And that's what I see with that. In one moment, I'm looking for something over here. I'm still talking. So yeah. So Moon in the 7th house, you have to watch out for codependency for sure. Because you can like take too much of your emotions from your partner or from like partners, and there can be like there can almost be like an obsession with relationships. And with Chiron there can be like, rejection like in relationships from partners, which leave like a profound effect on you. But like I said, it's like it could be either that, or it can be that like you have like a partner who teaches you to overcome some type of deep pain from conjunct the moon. I think that's probably what it is. And with Chiron in Capricorn, typically, let me have a listen to this. Typically, that's more about like feeling a little bit of insecurity in relation to like your place in society, where you like might find difficult like finding like what you're really meant to do. Sometimes it comes from like a difficult relationship with the mother, right? And a lot of people like this, like they become like healers, like they heal emotions, like because Chiron's connected to your moon. You're someone who has the ability, like you could be like amazing marriage counselor, or like relationship counselor, or just any kind of counselor, like psychologist or something, right? Because the moon conjunct Chiron, it also gives you an emotional need to heal other people, and you'll be someone that is a very, very talented, naturally talented healer. Now, yeah, so how do those connect? Well, we see how like with the parts work, and I do astrological counseling, and I have 2 master's degrees in psychotherapy, and basically what I would look at here if we were like doing those sessions, and I didn't see if you got a follow up. I think you did, but basically like I would ask, I'd be like, okay, so like how, and if you should definitely be taking notes because I will forget all of this. And it's important to, if you have to follow up, let me check. Yeah, you do have it. So it's definitely important to take notes and all that stuff. But like, I would really ask, how do those two energies play out together? Because I would think that like it would be like using like the Sagg expansion and the interest that Sagg has. Oh, my cat's just staring at me. Felix. I'll show you. He's like, play with me. But like, yeah, taking that Sagg energy, but then like channeling into something that's very productive, that's meeting everything I just kind of spoke about in the Sagg moon. But there's also like a real need, because like the Sagg part, it'll make you take a lot of, it can make someone take a lot of risks, not all the time. And there can be also an issues of power struggles, with the Pluto there, right? Like where yeah, so that can actually create like, Capricorn Moon can, there can be lots of depression, to be honest with you. A lot of people with Capricorn Moon, especially conjunct Chiron, like they do, or they have at some point struggled with some form of depression or melancholy, and they really they feel like they really have to work a lot harder, because Saturn rules your moon. It's in the 12th house. It's like it goes back to that 12th house Saturn, overcoming these hidden forces, whatever that is, like kind of like the fears that you repress. Maybe it's like a fear of like really, really becoming spiritual, because your North Node's there too. So there's a huge spiritual push for you in this life. So, and then there's not really many aspects. And then you have a really nice aspect of Sun, trine Jupiter, so that's going to be like very good for popularity. It's going to give you like a even more expansive personality, like optimistic outlook, right? Well, this is the thing. So Sagg is super optimistic, and Capricorn is super pessimistic. So it's like you might like swing back and forth between the two. But the fact that your moon in Capricorn is sextile Venus, and that makes me think that maybe there is more optimism. This is one of those cat moons that I see that isn't so heavy. Like a lot of cat moons I've seen are just so heavy, like with the other aspects, and yours isn't. So yeah, it's like kind of healing yourself and then healing other people. So then Aries, or excuse me, Cancer ascendant, which is the opposite of Capricorn, that will kind of complement this whole picture in the sense that it's going to add a new dimension: the water, the empathy, the compassion. Capricorn rising people that are Cancer rising people are people who are very approachable. They're not intimidating personalities, right? They're very warm, regardless of like what their charts are. They definitely have this warmth, and they definitely have this nurturing aspect to them. But just like with any water sign, there needs to always be this lookout for codependent for like not codependency. I saw that already, but like lacking boundaries, right? Because with your other water placements, you will be a very sensitive person. With Mars and Venus and Scorpio, it's going to make one a very sexual person, a very like invested person when it comes to love. So there is definitely like the potential to, I guess you could say, like put too many of your eggs in the basket of love. And it's all about self-love, right? So cliche, but yeah, and there's an opposition of Black and Lilith and Venus. So basically what that's telling me is that in love, like, or with yourself, right? So Venus has to do with like how, like what you value within yourself, and then like your love language and your creativity. So basically, like in Scorpio, like Venus and Scorpio people are very like they're looking for like soulmates. They're looking for like not your everyday like a flimsy kind of quick here 1 minute like gone the next love. They want relationships that are very deep, like on a soul transformational level, right? And your moon in the 7th house gives you like a real emotional need for that, right? So it's even deeper than that. I'll talk about the opposition later, but yeah, and it has a nice elemental trine with that Cancer rising. So water, like basically there is a lot of you that is very, very compassionate, and that with Mars in Scorpio, that's like the energy of a spiritual warrior. And in relationships, you're definitely wanting like a relationship that is like your Juno, which rules. I'll show the chart again, just so we can really see. So your Juno is also right there. Juno rules like what we look for, like in like a a marriage partner, like a really important relationship. So there, to me, it's like doubling down on this whole thing. That Scorpio, like when it comes to relationships, Scorpio is what that's the energy that you're looking for. So what is that? Well, there's low, high, and medium Scorpio. I had a post about that I should probably repost soon. And in essence, like the low Scorpio energy is manipulative. It plays power games. It it's all about control, right? And lots of people that have this kind of energy when they're younger, which you're young, so it's like, or like younger / less mature, you get what I mean, right? It's like, it's all based on maturity, but there can be like power struggles. There can be like this energy where they're so afraid to lose the other person. And let's see, Venus is square, yeah, Neptune. So, and so is Mars. They're both squaring Neptune. So like that is gonna also create illusions, right? Like it can create like over idealism, and yeah, like kind of, it like makes me think of like putting like the lover on a pedestal, the love, like, relate, and you know, a lot of people do that. I used to do it when I was younger. But also what it can do is it can create an energy where you don't see someone for who they are. You see, and you can be fooled by your own like your own kind of like love, or like quote unquote love, like fooled by what you think is someone's true self, but really it's their potential. Also, you really have to watch out for substances. Mars square Neptune is known for poisoning and just like anything related to that. So I'm curious like what your relationship with substances and addictions are, because it can be a very escapist energy. Okay, back to my face. So yeah, okay. So where the chart go? It disappeared. I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. I'm gonna pause. I think you just hit. Ooh, wow. The difference. So my eyes were starting to feel a little bit tired. I was like, when I went to the bathroom, I was like, all right, I'm not tired. My eyes are kind of tired. And I realized it's because I haven't freaking, I've been staring at the screen for so long, and I didn't turn on my whatever that F lux, whatever it's called. So turn that on right now. And I took a shower and meditated for like a few minutes, and literally like a world of difference. So I knew I wasn't tired. I was like, I'm not like tired. It's literally just my eyes that keep shutting. And now I feel totally chill. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. So in essence, where'd the chart go? Okay, here we are. So in essence, I always do this when I just like, I made a kombucha too. I always lick my hands after like I shower or touch water. It's really weird. I can't touch paper. Like touching paper, like it's like scratching a chalkboard. Sorry to give you that visual or audio or visual, whatever. I don't know. But okay, anyway, so what I was saying basically is that like the chart here, you know, the water aspect, the Scorpio part comes in, and there's a little bit of a split here that shows up, right? Because there's one part in love, which is a huge part of your chart is love, right? And another huge part of your chart is service, and giving back, and like being good to your body, being good to your mind, like kind of like what does it take each day? One second, this is not champagne, okay? Kombucha. It's what does it take each day to get you, like, you're like spirit, like, okay, let me give you examples. Scorpio part, it's like spiritual. So it's like, okay, meditate each day or do something that gets spiritual. What about the physical, right? Because the sixth house wants it physical. Maybe you're going on a walk, you know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes minimum a day, or working out or running or whatever it is. Getting a sweat is amazing, right? And then there's like the kind of like the creative, which is also like, you know, with the Sagittarius philosophy. Also the Scorpio is very creative, and also the, more importantly, the moon, which I think is writing and journaling. So this is my advice to you. I think that if you started writing like daily journals, even if it's like about like whatever, you know, makes you afraid. And we'll go more into that 12th house Saturn, right? But like not just about what makes you afraid, but writing about your emotions, right? Like really trying to tap in, learn. And there's also books you can learn. Like I feel like you might be someone that like wants to study psychology or something, or even like astrology, but like something that that helps you understand yourself better, right? That's because the Scorpio energy and the Sag energy, they both want to learn so much. And then the Capricorn Moon, it like wants to heal itself, right? With Chiron there. So I could definitely see you being like a healer. And I know before I left off, I was kind of talking about like the love stuff. I'll circle back around, don't worry. But yeah, doing some kind of like journaling, like where you're creating, where you're really get maybe like reading some psychology books, like The Body Keeps Score. There's a book called Anatomy of Spirit, which talks about like the psychosomatic, and how, you know, different parts of your body hold different energies. You know, that could be really awesome. And then in our follow-up, we can definitely talk about something that I might be able to help you with. You'll just have to remind me. The key word is group, but it's very secret, so just remind me. And basically, yeah, Madeleine, that would be massive, especially at your age, right? And it would set you up so that when the Saturn turn comes, you're ready. Okay, so kind of like circling back around as I do, you know, you like the 6th house is path, right? I mean, like the Sagittarius 6th house, when you combine Sagittarius with Virgo, you get someone like once again, the steps that it takes to get to the higher philosophy. So like organizing your life is important, right? And you know, the last thing I was adding to that thing, like with the writing, was also diet. I forgot to mention diet is being really, really important for you and just overall health. Now, I need to turn my brightness down. The brightness is on all the way also, even though that's not helping. So, you know, we have after that, you know, with the Scorpio energy and love, it's all Scorpio, right? And I was talking about the split, how there's one part of you that wants this really deep, close vulnerability, right? And it's square Neptune, which we'll talk about. But then there's the other part that's probably really shy away from vulnerability and emotion and like sharing your emotions and closeness. I'm curious. I want to know in the follow-up how those two play out together. And maybe you're still figuring out, like most people are still figuring out, even like people my age, you know? Okay, so I want to look at something really quick. So with all this, you know, so I talked a little about Venus and Scorpio. The highest energy, you know, you just have to watch out for it's about control. So once you're like, a big part of your life is letting go. I don't know, like I don't advocate for psychedelics or anything. I'm not like a big psychedelic person. I've done them before, but the only reason I bring that up is because when people speak about psychedelic experiences, I'm sure you've seen like on Joe Rogan, different places like that, maybe you experience it yourself. They talk about the surrendering and letting go and how they lost like on mushrooms or something, like it causes you to like lose, like it's almost like you're going so crazy. And some people have like the opposite reaction where they're just like laughing the whole time. That you have to let go of your ego. You have to surrender and just almost like blindly trust that it's going to be okay. And that's kind of like a metaphoric example of like what this energy is for you with in love is like just learning and accepting the lessons, but also when it comes to emotional vulnerability, there's a lot of surrender and letting go that needs to happen, like with the karma of this chart. So getting into some of the aspects, you know, when we talk further about Venus square Neptune, it creates more difficulties on how you love yourself. And then of course that's creates difficulties with how you love others, right? So it's like there can be like lots of disappointment in love. So we've seen this as a theme in your chart, not to to say like that's, you know, it's just showing up. I would read this the same way if you were 50, 60, 40, 20, 10, whatever, you know. So what can happen with this is that there can be these like fated relationships that don't work out for fated reasons, that then make you feel fated ways of like unlovable, victimized, ostracized, right? Like you're too different and strange, and that you can never, like the Neptune square moon or Venus can make someone feel like that it's like impossible and that they'll never find love. And that's fucking bullshit. Because what happens is that Neptune is the distorter in this case of self-image. So one of the best things, and I told a client this recently, and she said she did it and it helped her a ton. Neptune rules cameras, it rules mirrors, it rules like yeah. So what you can do, literally, I know it sounds weird, is you can film yourself. My cat is getting his workout in. I should just show you this. I'm sure you love cats. Go Felix. Yeah, crazy boy. But anyways, like basically like if like you can just like start film, like you could, another thing besides journaling is like through screens. Is I'm not saying like create like your version of my Instagram or your, you know, like an Instagram, maybe, but filming yourself, you don't have to show anyone. This is a big thing about this creative thing and the self-expression that's so needed for you, whether it's, and by the way, like I don't know like what your situation is, like I pretty much like any reading where I see like different things like different aspects and placements, I like, I think I already told you, you know, that I do the astrological counseling. It is one-on-one. Obviously it's one-on-one. That's my teaching when I'm talking about this one-on-one, but it's very affordable. And it's super, super effective. And if you're ever interested in that, I would love, you know, I would be very willing to talk to you about it. And it can be very fruitful. And I have 2 master's degrees in psychology, and basically like I just wrote an article about it the other day about how it basically just like it kind of excavates. Like I can't think of words in English because I'm speaking too much Romanian and French these days. But it like it escalates, makes that process go a little bit faster, right? Like some therapies they'll sit for years, and the astrological therapy can go faster because it really shows you, it creates a language, and then you know, there can be some progress forward. But anyways, besides that, that's kind of like, yeah, filming yourself is really big. Venus, you know, the Neptune, Venus in the Mars and the Neptune, that's different. That, hey, watch out, these cats. Hey, Mika, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. So the Mars and Neptune, what that can do, that creates someone, like I said, you have to watch out for this, for the symptoms for like, you know, the substances. It makes one really want to like fight for a worthy cause, but it can make one kind of lose faith in themselves. And it, once again, it has a similar effect in that it kind of distorts your view of yourself, kind of like the Venus one. But instead of like yourself, it's like your view of like that you can do it. So it creates like the 3rd chakra blockage sometimes of like, I can't do it, right? Because like there's lots of difficulty trusting the ability to go after things you want in like a direct manner, right? And often that comes from like the parents, you know, it's but it could come also from like lots of pain in relationships. There can be lots of fear of rejection and criticism. But like overall, like, you know, these two, they do create an extremely strong imagination. And but what can happen earlier, like eventually it gets channeled into like creative genius type energy, right? But before that, and like really, yeah, really creative. But before that, it can make someone kind of paranoid. like what this person is thinking, this person's going to do this, because there's a distortion already in the self-esteem, in the issues, like in the way that the one sees themselves. They project that onto other people and think that other people are thinking in ways that they're not, right? So you have to really, watch out for like addiction and escapism with this one, because there can be this desire to kind of escape from reality per se. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so you're gonna really like in a partner, like look for someone who is at the same time like really, really fun, and who you can be your full inner child with, and maybe even like do creative stuff with. Have children, fifth house is children, but also who you're able to like express, and who is someone who's like at least in touch with their depths and their emotions, who's not just like repressed it, and like someone who's really there for a serious commitment, like someone who like is there for the soulmate, like that Scorpio way of loving, which is the most intense, like it's the most devoted, loyal love. That's what you are in love. And then your Mars and Scorpio is the strong. It's Mars and Aries and Mars and Scorpio are the strongest Mars placements, right? So that makes someone a spiritual warrior. Now this is very important, right? To have such a strong Mars, it makes one almost like you have to watch it, like first of all, it gives someone like a built-in, but the thing is that because it's square Neptune, it's like something that has to be unlocked, right? But it's like the superpower you have, and like it gives you like this amazing psychological, like you makes you like a psychological spiritual warrior. And there's lots of ambition. When you find something that you're emotionally like interested in, you just go fucking in, and like you'll definitely be attracted to passion and intensity. Also a lot of times people with this, especially with a Cancer rising, there will be like kind of like you might not be the most loud person, even though like Sagg is so boisterous, but there will be this like magnetism that people kind of notice, right? Even though that's like more of like the Scorpio rising, it still is the fact that like there's the elemental trine between them, the Scorpio and the whatever, the Cancer. But yeah, like Mars and Scorpio, they like to challenge themselves to do the impossible. They're not the person you want to have to be your opponent, especially when young. Like they're really sensitive, and they know exactly what the fuck to do to hurt someone psychologically. Also sexually, super strong sex drive, but it's not like in like the promiscuous type of sex. It's more like sexual energy in the sense of like spiritual energy, but also like they like to have like sex, but more spiritual sex is like the kind of Mars and Scorpio, right? Like very, very, very intimate sex, which once again, with a Capricorn moon, I wonder how that works. And just so you know, I said this in a recent chart, like your chart isn't easy, it's not hard. And but there are lots of splits in it. And no one that isn't like an advanced soul, like from past life to past life, I don't know how much you've like looked into that, learned of how we like reincarnate, and the more advanced souls will pick like the more difficult karma. I'm not saying your karma is like so hard. We'll have to see in the follow-up, but there are lots of difficult aspects to it and lots of splits that have to be evened out. But like, yeah, like, and this is another one of them, right? And there can also be like a black or white philosophy in life, like kind of like 100 or 0 energy, not like perfectionism, but yeah. And the issue here is that when provoked, they can really go at people. And Mars and Scorpio, people who have like low self-esteem, which like it shows like in your chart that there's potential for that. They can become like very self-loathing, and then end up like manipulating other people and then after that feeling resentful about it. So, but like also, you know, this Scorpio energy, it gives you this real knowledge, and the Capricorn Moon, it almost like this cynicism, but it's almost like a healthy cynicism, like to just understand like the bad inherent in people. And also, I want to say in the 5th house, like it would be so amazing and important for you to have a strong creative outlet. Yeah. That would be massive. Venus in the 5th house is amazing for that. Vertex and Sagg, you know, your doorway to higher awareness is once again through like being of service and kind of like organizing your day to where you're finding your higher truth through your daily routine, through your work, you know. It's about finding universal truth that you can then live your life off based off of. So very important there. Which makes me think of your midheaven in Aries, which is like ruled by Mars, which makes me think that, yeah, maybe you are someone that like is a very creative person that does something creative. But also like it could be someone that just like that like wants to do something like very psychological, because you know Mars rules your midheaven in Aries. So that's like psychologist written all over it. Because like a psychologist is technically an entrepreneur, you know, they work for themselves, they choose their hours. And Mars midheaven in Aries, they're not going to want to fucking like be working for, you know, in corporate America, for example, most likely. Not that they can't, they can, and they want to be a boss in it, but they, you know, they prefer to make their own hours and stuff. Speaking of money, Jupiter in the 2nd house is like one of the best things you can possibly have for money. It's in Leo, so that gives you some real swag, some real like some real Leo energy, some real like look at me, you know, some real it gives you like a shiny part of your personality, which you know, Jupiter is how we expand. So it expands all the Leo qualities, right? Of generosity, fun lovingness, inner child, benevolence, enthusiasm. And then just like it goes back to this search for a creative expression, right? And it also can make someone really love children. In the 2nd house, I always tell clients this, and they always like, yep, you're right. This actually is like a guardian angel for finances. Like it's really good for money, but also in your case, like so you have to so self-esteem can be linked too much to money and possessions. That can be like a trend, because you can have like this ability to like make money and stuff, but yeah, you have to like the self-esteem stuff is really important, and just know that there's a complete link between how you are within yourself and your relationships. Like I know that sounds like how everyone is, but in your chart, like especially. Okay, Black Moon Lilith, you know, that's kind of like the dark side of your personality that doesn't necessarily come out. It's just like when you're at your lowest, it comes out, and that is at the 11th house in Taurus. So that's like basically like I had this one yesterday, fear of change, like not taking enough risks. So I think in this lifetime you're a Sagittarius because you're here to take healthy risks, especially like spiritual risks and you know, risks that expand your worldview, and you know that kind of get you chatting and talking to like different people. Even though you do have the Scorpio energy, which is very deep and anti-small talk, there is still like a need for you to kind of just like go around your immediate environment. Maybe it's with siblings too, which is ruled by Saturn. So wait, hold up. No, it's ruled by Mercury, which is, yeah. So I don't know if there are. I'm not sure if there are siblings. So yeah, that's one thing. Watch fear of risk, fear of allowing the death, rebirth, transformation archetype to take place in your life, which is, you know, so important when you have all these planets in Scorpio, right? The Mars in Scorpio, it's like it's pushing someone. Mars is like what pushes you towards the death, rebirth, and transformation. Also, like, just with the Scorpio stuff, there can be, especially when young, like, it can make someone like dramatic. They can, I've spoken to some people with this who, like, they admit it. Like, I talked to my friend last night. She has a ton of Scorpio, and she's like, yeah. And I like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I like drama. Like, I like, and she's an amazing person and not toxic, like, in that sense, like, overly toxic. But, like, with all the fire you have, there definitely can be explosions that happen, right? So let's go back and see, go through these. Yeah, really like positive aspects. But okay, so Mercury opposite Saturn. I didn't talk about that. So first of all, Mercury is sextiling Uranus. So that's gonna give you like an inventive mind that beats the beat of their own drum. It's probably why you're like, interested like in things like astrology and really broadening your mind, and you don't give a fuck about traditions. But the opposition with Saturn, that I always, I nearly always get the same answer with this, because your Saturn's in the 12th house, and in this case, Mercury, like opposite Saturn people, they tend to get a message early in life, and maybe it's because they had like a, in your Mercury and Saturn can be a little bit loud, can be very, very opinionated. They can get it shut down early in life when it comes to their like thought process and their level of intelligence, of how intelligent they think they are. So it's super important to kind of see through that, and to know that like whatever message you were told, it's not true, and to kind of break through that, right? So that's massively important, because like a lot of times it can come from the parents or from the early like kind of patriarchy, like early schooling environments, and it can be very, very damaging, very, very psychologically damaging. And speaking of Saturn, let's kind of go a little bit more into the 12th house Saturn. It's very difficult. But like I said, with fears, there can be lots of self-limitations, feeling like I can't do it, with third chakra. It can create like really like lots of pessimism, inner pessimism, that keeps someone like afraid of actually pursuing their dreams, even if they're like the most talented singer or something like that. A lot of times it creates like some kind of like drama or trauma related to the mother's birth. Like maybe there's a difficult birth, a traumatic like initial experience as a newborn, and because of that, there can be like there's like it's called perinatal trauma. That can be something to look into. And what happens is that the person like will subconsciously sometimes isolate themselves from the world in order to recreate the more secure surroundings of being like in the womb. And being a Cancer rising, making your sun ruled by your moon, or your chart ruled by your moon, Cancer rising, it does have that potential too to when they're hurt, when they don't feel comfortable, when they don't feel like secure, to just go in their shell and kind of like isolate. So yeah, it definitely creates a loner. What's your birthday? Are you a 9 also? Or you're 5? I don't know numerology. I just know 9, which is the Hermit. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so another thing with this is like taking on guilt and worries and shame that's not yours. Like feeling responsible for other people's like emotions, like other people's depression, picking up on it and thinking it's yours. So it's really important for you to create like firm boundaries, which Cat Moon is actually very, very good at creating firm boundaries. So that's like one way that you can use the Cat Moon to your advantage. And to really like kind of obvious, I talk about this in my videos too, is like be, when you're with someone in an environment, once you leave it, really consider like, okay, like feel your energy, like when you're with that person, when you're in that environment, and then when you're alone, when you're in your safe zone, your cocoon, you are Cancer rising, so there's going to be a little level of that. feel how different it is. And then you'll have a really good understanding of that. But the best thing here is just you know, it can also create, like I said before, like hidden enemies that are like older, like maybe like teachers or something like that. So it could have been like a case like there was like a teacher or teachers early in life that kind of like bullied you a little bit psychologically when you were like younger. But really the best advice is to just not take life so seriously and to just learn to surrender and let go and just laugh at yourself, right? Because like fear is only like it's like these fears, these unconscious like fears and like and whatever phobias, like that's standing in like the way of you and happiness, right? So it's all about like being honest with yourself, like pushing yourself to be vulnerable, but also just doing things that are just fun. You know, not like allowing yourself to sit in the kind of gloominess. And being a Sag sun, you are fun. So just following that Sag energy, right? Like a lot of people like are very like reclusive. It's like, do you really want that? You know, do you really want to get rid of these like unconscious fears, or are they just like a comfortable excuse to continue like potential antisocial patterns, right? Because it's not like bad to be like a solitary person. Like, no, I mean, like people need. I'm a pretty solitary person. Like, I need a lot of alone time, you know. But like at the same time, you know, one of the goals I'd say most people agree in life is relationships and growth. And a lot of growth comes from, you know, relationships and being with people. So yeah, wear a smile on yourself. You know, understand that you need to take responsibility for your own life and for the change that you make in your everyday reality, which goes right back to your 6th house Pluto of what you do, how you wake up every day. Gratitude list. Start your day with some organization, right? Make sure that you note this down so we can talk about this in the follow-up. I will forget everything. And also, yeah, it just comes down to gratitude, I think, with this one. Like learning to like really like accept the small little things in life that are just fucking awesome. You know, like right now I appreciate the fact that my cat is literally acting like a dog and bringing me this little ball that he wants me to throw down the stairs, and he chases it all the way down my stairs and then brings it back up and then gives it to me again. And you know, it's like it's so easy to kind of like to be negative with that placement. All right, moving forward. So we talked about that. So your Venus and Mars together, that just gives like the Venus gets Mars, so like it just gives like a really strong sex drive. I mean, I don't know how to say it, and the very like it's very good for popularity and vitality. And you know, I actually have this, but I'm trying to see one thing. I'm actually going to go into my notes on this one, because there's one thing that I must say to you. Oh yeah, okay. I think, oh yeah, so like expecting, it can make you like really okay, you expect more from others, mostly because you're also willing to do more for and with others, which can be an adjustment for those around you if they've become complacent with how they give and share. So yeah, it just makes, it's another like one of these like, okay, so this is okay. See, I think like sometimes I'll just like open like a page of notes and like I see one word and a whole page comes back to me, or the whole like thing. It's like it's just another like sign of like but it's not a bad one, of like just being like a very like relationship oriented person. It has a huge effect on relationships, right? It makes them really passionate, and like strong desires for love and affection, and yeah, just like making like you're a very relationship oriented person, right? It's just how it is. But this isn't like a difficult one, right? But the only way it can be difficult is like if that level of like intensity can be too much for the partner. That's why you really need that kind of scorpionic, not to say that you need to be with a Scorpio, but someone who also is in that same kind of energy, right? Because it's not like finding a new partner is going to be that easy, or finding a partner in general. Even though there is a lot of sex appeal and sexual magnetism that comes with fucking Mars conjunct Venus and Scorpio. So yeah, it's just magnanimous energy, right? And it's really good for popularity and attracting other people, friends, lovers, all that stuff. It comes very useful in career. So it's another really awesome thing for finances, you know. Mine is in Aquarius, yours is in Scorpio, so it's like a lot different, right? And yours is closer to mine. And also it makes a very like intense goal directed energy, right? And in your case it'd be like, you know, strong work ethic. So I honestly don't know if you chose your career, but I think like psychology would be like such a natural fit for you, for like so many reasons. And if you I don't know how old you are. You're probably like still in university, if you're in college, and if not, maybe you're still deciding, or maybe you don't want to go to college. I don't fucking know. I don't know anything. I literally like don't look at like your photos. I don't look at anything of the client. All I've seen is like the little thumbnail, which doesn't show anything, and I try not to look hard, because I want to know nothing. So yeah, it's a very big like accomplishment thing. So also with this one, what typically with Venus conjunct Mars, the way that you how do I say this? So the phenomena is that the way that you, so you're female, the way that the relationship with your father has a huge role in terms of the relationship with your mother. Or fuck, what am I saying? Well, okay, the like the level of like good or bad, or like kind of the overall theme, or like just kind of how your relationship was with your father, plays a massive role in how your like relationships with men. Guessing that I don't know if you're straight or not, but I'm just guessing. I know in this world we can't guess, but I'm just saying if you are, it would play a more than average role. Yeah. So okay, that's that. Okay, 1 second. Okay, very good. So yeah, aside from that, what else do I have to add in? Yeah, Pluto and Uranus in the 8th. I mean, you know, Uranus in the 8th can really give downloads. It can, you know, make you really, really like fascinated by metaphysics, and it can give you like these like really sudden changes in life through like different joint ventures. You can just really quickly just like benefit from other people's resources. And you know, I like Uranus in the 8th, and Neptune in the 8th is beautiful. You know, it's like Neptune works best in 4, 8, and 12 in the water houses, and it just basically gives you the ability to kind of transcend daily life through like your metaphysical pursuits. And it's just like this one of these placements that gives you once again like access to like the emotional undercurrents, like the zeitgeist, the emotional like zeitgeist undercurrent. And it's another amazing placement for you know, someone that's working in a field like psychology. So yeah. Okay, let's pull up. Let's pull up. So okay, so you have Ceres on your midheaven in Aries. So that would once again indicate that you would, you know, want to look after others, kind of nurture others through your profession. You could choose a caring profession where you bring like the qualities of warmth to your career, even though it's in Aries. And yeah, so that's very interesting. Kind of complements what I've been saying. But like with all that said, you know, it's still, it's not like, it's like you can still take all these qualities. I know I keep saying like psychologist, like the fact that your moon is like conjunct Chiron, but like at the same time, you can take all these qualities in any field. You know, they work in business. But like I just think that they're very useful, and that when you choose a career, you're very young, so it's like, and you're probably very mature for your age. I get that feeling. And you know, you thought a lot about stuff, and women, girls, whatever you want to call your sex. You know, they're way more mature than guys at that age. So, but like a lot of times, like, you know, this sometimes decisions are made like from ego when young about like career. Like, speak for myself, like I wanted to do business my whole life until I had like a lot of shit happen that kind of pushed me. So like basically, like I'm gonna say this quote, and then I'm gonna like try to see if I can find any asteroids. Is that basically, if you're going in the highest energy of your chart, fate will align itself so that you can manifest the highest energy of your chart. AKA like if you're going in the right direction, like things will work out for you, and fate will just throw itself and work it and put you in positions to where you can do what you're meant to do. Okay, so finishing up here, you're lucky. You guys are all lucky who are getting these readings now, where I'm doing my like fixed stars, because this is gonna be like one day I'm gonna have to like do like a different reading with this. But basically, I'm looking Vulcanus rising. So yeah, you are a Cancer rising, but there's like a lot of, and I just got this new book. There is a lot of kind of firepower to your Cancer rising. Vulcanus, think about it. It's called Vulcanus, the freaking volcano. It's a very masculine energy, great strength, brute force, vitality. So to have that rising, it means that you know that plays a role. And even though you're a Cancer rising, you know, I have a client who has this too, and she's like, I don't like understand the Cancer rising part. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, well, it's because you have Vulcanus rising. So let's see in here. Let's see if I can see something. Okay. So it's okay, yeah, and then also Pollux, right? Pollux and Castor, right? I think you have both of them. What's 21? Okay, so now I need to go to, I literally got this book today. Okay. Or yesterday, same thing. So yeah, Castor and his Pollux a little bit further. So Castor rising, it's also, so this is a fixed star, that was an asteroid. So what it says for Castor rising is honor, intellect, great learning, blindness, bad eyes, injuries to the face, disgrace, stabs, wounds, imprisonment. Don't worry about like some of these like old ass fucking things, but let's look at my new book. Okay. Oh, like it's like very little information. Wait, maybe. Oh, I think I see how this is working. Okay, so If only one of the pair are present in your chart, it will imply all of the above concepts with a leaning towards the pride. Okay. So, okay, if Castor is the active one, like yours is, then you will seek the bright side of the story or situation. You're aware of the polarity, but from the bright side of the subject. And let's see, what does that mean? Yeah, so it's basically like Castor and Pollux is Castor, the one you have is the good guy, and Pollux is the bad guy. And it's about like polarity. So it's a very optimistic. It produces writers like William Blake. Really good for storytelling. It says like rather storytelling by one who has a knowledge of mixing good and evil, overlapping them until both are changed into whole. Writers who can do this will be successful. These are about blending of opposites, recognition of opposites, and the building of bridges between them. Yeah, super interesting. What's this saying? What does this mean to be a heliacal rising star at birth? Because you do have it rising. I haven't read that part of this book yet to know what that means, but I'm trying to see. So yeah, it's like really about like your life being like a journey through polarities. Which like it's so in tune with your Sag energy. There'll be a driving need to seek out information or events and blend them into your pattern of your beliefs. You'll be driven to explore polarities. Super interesting. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. After that, 18. Let's see if it's in here. I think it's. No, it'd be with Leo. No. So okay, Merak. I'm just trying to see if it says anything about the Jupiter. No, nothing. So it's not a significant one. And then 2 and 4. Let's see if there's anything there. See, people who wait get really, really good readings. Everyone gets good readings. That's literally said this yesterday. Okay, let's see with. No, this wouldn't be it. It's 2 4 degrees. 18 Scorpio. So no, I really don't think there's any important stars here. Nope. And it is at 309, which I don't think is close enough because that's within 0.30. Oh, actually, yeah, it is close enough. Just, yeah, it's okay. So it's conjunct your Mars close enough. So this whole thing would apply Mars conjunct princeps. So it says this distorts the sexuality of the person. They can be oversexed and undersexed depending on what planet's aspect is. This can sometimes be quite destructive as they are very much obsessed with sex for the sake of sex. These people use objects to exile themselves in many different ways, causing much injury to themselves as they do not know when to stop. They're obsessed with the genital area, even though they may not have an intimate relationship with anyone. This affects both men and women, and their obsession would bring difficulties with others who are close to them. This is a karmic position. In a prior life, they abuse others, and now they are abusing themselves. No comment on that one. And you are free. Whenever it comes to sexual stuff, I always I'll say it and I'll be like, you're free to bring that up to me if you want. It's now 13 and then 9. And then we'll call it a day. 13, 9, and 3. No, wait, it's 3. Okay. 13 Sag, 9 Capricorn, and 3 Aries. 13. Okay, so nothing there. 18. No, it's 6. And also the descendant. Don't forget the descendant, which is 20. And then, yeah. Okay. And then this one, which is all the way over here. The Neb Kaitos. Okay, so let's start with your midheaven, the Neb Kaitos MC. It says trouble through old people, disgrace, trade losses, deceitful associate, rise followed by fall. I don't know. That one's always difficult. Those explanations are always difficult. Maybe I have something in here about that. Yeah, that's true. No, so it would be all the way over here. So it was the Neb Kaitos. So yes, man. Oh, not much there. And then okay, so then this one, which is at conjunct with the moon. Let's see if there's anything on it. Okay, yeah, so your moon, it's conjunct Borealis. It says promoter of idealistic and humane ideas. which is very in line with the Sagg. And then your descendant, and I have to look at IC also. Descendant's kind of like what you grow into. IC 3 Libra. And this descendant's also other. So let's just see if there's any fixed stars at 3 Libra. Or 31, is that close enough? No. So the last one we'll talk about is Deneb. It's 1948. Yeah, so Deneb, let's see if there's anything on the descendant. Nope. But basically, let's see the overall energy, ability to command. So yeah, great pride. That kind of Martian character. So that's kind of like what you would attract, someone like that's like a very good leader and kind of goes totally with what I said about the whole Scorpio stuff. So anyways, let me just like give a last look at the chart to make sure that everything has been spoken about, but we'll have to follow up regardless. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so like I would say like with Saturn ruling the 7th house, and you know, it would typically make the more like the relationships, the more important relationships like be more like after the Saturn return. Like not always, it's just like the more mature ones, the ones that last. But also if you can get past the 12th house Saturn stuff, it can have like a really good impact on relationships. Anyways, that is it. I have no idea because my timer stopped because I kept it going when I was taking a shower. So I hope you enjoy. My eyes are red, so I do need to go to sleep. And we'll talk soon. Okay, bye-bye.